Alrighty. Hello YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cryptic Coil. Uh, First off, I'd just like to wish everybody who watches this video a very happy new year. Okay, I honestly hope that everybody has a blessed and prosperous 2026. I wanted to start off with that. Okay, the second thing is I'd like to make a formal announcement. I'm going to change my name on YouTube. So I don't know if you guys can have noticed, but the background looks a little bit different. So I just moved. I moved out of my old apartment. I moved into a new apartment, and I'm still not done unpacking. I mean, it's been like 2 months now. Yeah, so that's kind of. I've been doing a lot of cleaning and stuff lately, so I'm gonna get to unpacking now. But the background looks different and everything. And when I first started this channel, I was just trying to think of a cool name, and I came up with the name Cryptic, which I like because it kind of reminded me of like the Crypt Keeper, from Tales from the Crypt. But Cryptic, like I just thought it sounded cool. But then I misspelled it with a K and a Y. And then I wanted to have a last name, something that went with it. And I originally chose the name Lovecraft. So at the very beginning of my channel, I was calling myself Cryptic Lovecraft. And I thought that sounded okay and kind of cool, but it also sounded kind of gimmicky and unoriginal. And then I binge watched the TV show Daria because I have it on DVD. For those of you who don't know, Daria was a cartoon on MTV back in the 90s. It was actually a spin-off from Beavis and Butthead. And there's this like running gag in the TV show Daria. There's a character named Trent, and Trent was in a band, and he would always say, "Yeah, we're called a Mystic Spiral, but we're thinking about changing the name." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, Cryptic sounds like Mystic." And my favorite band is called Lacuna Coil. They're from Italy, and Lacuna Coil is Italian for empty spiral. And then I had a Lacuna Coil poster above my, head, on the ceiling behind me. And I'm like, Cryptic Coil. Oh, that sounds good. Uh, so I kept it. But again, I, kind of took somebody else's thing and made it my own. And that's bothered me for a long time. So I decided that I'm changing it to Cryptic Passion. And the reason I went with Passion is because I do different things on my channel. When I first started this channel, I was doing reviews of the TV show Paradise City, the TV show spinoff of American Satan. And then I reacted to the news that Megadeth had fired their longtime bass player Dave Ellefson. And I've done like a few other little things, and I'm not trying to be a big time YouTuber or anything like that. I'm not trying to compete with Mr. Beast or whoever's popping at this moment. And YouTube, I know, kind of punishes creators for stepping outside of their niches, or at least that's what I hear. And I just figured that this channel is about whatever I feel passionate enough about to make a video about. And so, Cryptic Passion. I mean, I think it sounds kind of cool. I don't think it rolls off the tongue, quite the same way as like Cryptic Coil, but at least it's my own. And so I'm gonna go ahead and change it to Cryptic Passion. And then Cameron Cheney, he calls his channel, Cameron Cheney, but he calls his show Library Macabre. And then, my friend Zach calls his channel Shady Side Library. And it's because he and I both love R.L. Stine and Christopher Pike. Well, the Shady Side universe doesn't exist in Christopher Pike's literature, but the Spooksville universe does. And so I'm going to call my show the Spooksville Library as opposed to the Shadyside Library. And let me tell you something, okay? The rivalry, the bitter rivalry between, Spooksville and Shadyside goes way back, okay? Like, you know, my fellow Spooksvillians are sick and tired of those Shadysiders coming to our town, taking our jobs and our women. Just kidding. It was a bad joke on purpose, but anyway, yeah. So I guess that's gonna be a thing. I'll get around to changing my name officially on YouTube later. But for right now, I have a DVD and a book haul for you guys. The last couple of weeks when I've gone out hunting, I picked up a few things, and I'll just start with the DVDs first. So there's an Animal Humane Society thrift store here in town, and they sell nice stuff. They always have, and they used to be like really really far away from me, but then they just moved to like a couple streets over from me. Like I could walk there if I wanted. But I picked up a couple DVDs from there yesterday. So this one is it's a horror movie called Return to Horror High, and I've heard of this movie before. I think that I'm not 100% sure, but I might have heard about it from Cody Leach's channel. But apparently, this film came out in the year 1986, which is my birth year. And yeah, so I'll read you the synopsis on the back. Okay, so it's called Return to Horror High. Now, I don't know if that's a sequel or not, but anytime something's called Return to whatever, I just assume it's a sequel. But here's the synopsis. Movie producer Harry Sleerick brings his crew to Crippen High, which was closed down following a series of grisly unsolved murders. He intends to make a horror film based on these bizarre incidents, and for authenticity, he hires on several of the school's former employees as actors. His leading man's sudden and mysterious disappearance sets the stage for a rash of strange events that make it hard to determine who's playing dead for the camera and who's not. That sounds like a good time, actually. It's brand new, still in the cellophane. So that's cool. Then I found this movie, and it's called Boo. And the tagline on the front of the DVD reads, "You don't have a ghost of a chance." And it's got a pretty creepy looking cover. I mean, that's a creepy looking cover. I mean, that's movie poster quality right there. And I think that this is an independent film. I think Return to Horror High was as well. But here's the synopsis on back. Oh, and I guess this is from 2005. All right. Some hospitals don't have a 13th floor. Santa Mira Hospital shouldn't have had a third. It's something a group of 5 college students discover when they enter an abandoned hospital on Halloween night, only to discover that the rumors about the place being haunted are very real. Running into other people who are trapped in the hospital, they uncover the truth about a vengeful spirit who was hell-bent on making sure no one, except himself, gets out alive. That sounds like a good time as well. Okay, then I picked up this movie called The Howling. I know that my parents rented it when I was like in 3rd grade. I've never seen it, but Cody Leach says it's tied as the best werewolf movie ever, tied with American Werewolf in Paris, or not in Paris, in London. American Werewolf in Paris is kind of a different story. It's good for, those of us that saw it when we were kids in the 90s. It didn't age quite as well, but it still got that nostalgia candy. But American Werewolf in London was really good, and I hear that The Howling is like right up there. Okay, and then I picked up Hellraiser, which I just learned after having started this channel. One of you guys told me this. Hellraiser is a spinoff of one of Clive Barker's young adult novels called The Hellbound Heart. I guess the Hellraiser movie franchise is a spin-off of that book. And so that's super cool. And I actually just picked up a couple weeks ago, couple months ago. I don't even know how long it's been. It's fairly recent though. Apparently, well, I picked up a DVD that has a bunch of like Hellraiser sequels, but the first one wasn't on there. And then I picked this up for like $3 the other day or yesterday. So that was cool. All right. So that's it for my DVDs. I'm going to go ahead and get into books now, and I'm going to start with middle grade, then I'll get into young adult, then I'll get into adults. All right. So I picked up oh, I still have the thrift store sticker on it. Sorry, I'm going to just go ahead and start peeling this bad boy off. All right. So I picked up a copy of Dean Marnie's The Christmas Tree That Ate My Mother. And there's this one YouTuber that I watch, and oh man, I don't remember his name. I just discovered him in recent months. Like this, I mean, today's January 1st, but I definitely discovered him in the second half of 2025. And I really like him. He seems like a nice guy, positive energy. I think he's a youth pastor, if I understand correctly. And he's does he reads and reviews a lot of like the books that like I buy and show off in book hauls but don't read. He actually reads them. So whoever you are, sir, just horns up to you. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I wish you happy, healthy, prosperous, and blessed 2026. Well, anyway, I guess this book is like part of a trilogy. So there's also like the jack-o'-lantern that ate my little brother and the turkey that ate my father, or something like that. And I know I have the jack-o'-lantern one. I don't know if I have the turkey one or not. But there's also like the Valentine that ate my teacher, or something. I do have that one. Well, anyway, I went ahead and picked this book up. It's in kind of rough condition, so it's a good reading copy. Some girl named Nikki wrote her name on the inside with pencil. It's got a healthy spine, strong, healthy spine holding onto the pages. So that's cool. What other middle grade books do I have? Oh, okay. So I picked up a Dan Pawlowski book that I don't already have, and it's called Liar's Room. And I need to get around to reading some Dan Pawlowski. That's 2026 goals. Because I have a lot of their books. Yeah, Dan, okay. His books. I have a lot of his books. But here's the synopsis on the back. Simon is a liar. Stella and Alex know this about their new stepbrother, so they aren't bothered by his stories about their new house. Wildwick, a former schoolhouse for misbehaved boys, might have plenty of creaks and shadows, but the twins know that ghosts aren't real. But Simon is getting harder and harder to ignore as his cries for attention become increasingly dangerous and difficult to explain. Stella and Alex have to consider, could Simon actually be telling the truth? As they look for answers, they learn that the history of Wildwick is more sinister than they could have imagined. And when a shocking truth is revealed, it's not clear who can be trusted anymore. Will the three siblings be able to put aside their differences to save their family before it's too late? That sounds pretty good. Let's see, what year is this from? 2021. Okay, so yeah, this is a more recent release. It's 5 years old. Where does the time go? Where? Anyway, so moving on. I picked up another Janet M. Malcolm book, and it's called Freak Show. And it's in great condition except for this crease on the front cover, but it's in otherwise fantastic condition. The thrift store sticker didn't peel off any paint. It's just got this little crease, which I mean I can neglect. Jenna, Jan, Jonna and Malcolm wrote the books like Scared Stiff, and there was another one. Yeah, I have a few of her books, but I mean, it's got a really interesting looking cover. The tagline on the front reads, "Step right up, see the middle school freaks. Thrills and chills." Katie told her friends not to go into the funhouse. It was all run down and scary, and it gave Katie the creeps. But Trevor, Quinn, and Skip just laughed. What could happen in a room full of wobbly mirrors and a moving floor? They could come out looking like a bunch of freaks. Somehow, the funhouse has turned Skip, Quinn, and Trevor into the strong man, the bearded fat lady, and the dog-faced boy, and it's not a pretty sight. Can Katie help her friends get their real bodies back, or will she have to start charging admission to let kids see them? That sounds like a good time. Then I picked up one more Vintage Apple paperback, and it's called My Sister the Creep. And the author is Candace F. Ransom. I used to know a dude whose last name was Ransom. It's a pretty cool last name. He could start a metal band and name it after himself. He could name it Ransom. Like, I wonder if that's already taken. Anyway, so this is what the cover looks like. There's a girl getting a haircut. She does not look to be very happy. The tagline on the front reads, "Will Jackie survive her sister's makeover?" And the synopsis on the back reads, "With sisters like Sharon, who needs enemies? Now that Jackie's older sister Sharon has left for beauty school, Jackie is excited to start high school and finally be recognized as her own person. But even miles away at school, Sharon still holds the spotlight. Their parents pore over her letters anxiously, and Jackie's teachers call her Sharon's little sister. And it seems that every time Jackie turns around, Sharon is back home stealing the show, like at homecoming with her dramatically dyed hair and a good luck kiss for the football captain. The final straw is when Sharon chooses someone else to be her model for the state beautician's exam. When the model gets sick at the last minute, Sharon expects Jackie to drop everything, including her first real night out, to substitute. Won't Jackie ever be free of Sharon's shadow?" That plot line just sounds incredibly relatable, doesn't it? So, I couldn't resist. I had to get it. Another 2026 goal of mine is to show off my collection of vintage Apple paperbacks. And I have one more middle grade book for you, and it's an A.G. Gascon Dead Time Stories. And I found this at a local thrift store. It's the one by my work. That's where I found it. And this is number 10 in the series, and it's called Grandpa's Monster Movies. And I've actually seen this one on eBay before, but I think it was going for kind of a high dollar price. And so I just opted not to pull the trigger. I bought something more affordable that pay period, and then I found this at a local thrift store for less than $2. So I guess it worked out. But yeah, so there's like a beast-like claw coming out from the projector where an old school movie is being shown. That is interesting. I wonder if the kids today have ever watched a movie on a projector screen. I mean, I guess they still do that at the movie theaters, but I mean, that just kind of goes to show you how old this series is. Okay. So the tagline on the front of this one reads, "This midnight show is a scream." And the synopsis on the back reads, "Home movies can be a horror." CT and his cousin Leah are staying at their grandparents' old farmhouse. It's Grandpa's 70th birthday, and everyone's celebrating with a big family reunion. All the weird relatives are here, and all they seem to want to talk about are the good old days. CT and Leah think the good old days are pretty boring until they find some home movies hidden away in the attic. Movies from when their grandfather was just a boy. The home movies give them a piece of family history that the relatives never talked about. It seems that horses, cows, pigs, and chickens aren't the only creatures Grandpa's been taking care of on the farm. And Uncle Ernie isn't the only one at the family reunion whose back is covered with hair. CT and Leah discover there's a monster among them, and this creature is dying to eat a lot more than the birthday cake. That sounds like a good time. I've never read a Dead Time story. I didn't even know about this book series until after the Fear Street movie trilogies came out on Netflix, and then I discovered Cameron Chaney's channel, and he had a video called like my rarest middle grade Goosebumps knockoff book collection, something like that. And that's how I found out about this series, and now I have a collection myself. All right, so that's it for for middle grade. Now I'm going to move into young adults. So I've seen other people that have these things. I found this at a local Goodwill. Okay, so it's a point horror bundle, thrills, chills, and nightmares, and it comes with this little box. And these books are in such good condition. I was thinking about selling this, but I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep it for myself. But these are not first editions. So I have the first point horror book that I ever found out in the wild was Lifeguard by Richie Tankersley Cusick. I still have it. It's kind of beat up. But this one is in mint condition. Nothing is embossed. Same thing goes for A Weekend by Christopher Pike. I have two different printings. I have one that says Point on the spine and one that says like Scholastic on the spine. And I think that they're both embossed as well. And then I got Slumber Party by Christopher Pike as well. And then Twisted by R.L. Stine. And so they put the Goodwill sticker down here, and when I peeled it off, it took off some of the paint. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it kind of hurts. It hurts a little, It's like I'll live, but I can't help but react to the pain. All right, so that was fun. There's a bookstore here in town, and it's not half-priced books, but it might be like Albuquerque, New Mexico's equivalent to half-priced books. They don't have them in other places. It's unique to Albuquerque. It's called Page One Books. And I found a backup copy of The Watcher by Lyle Litke. And I think that this one definitely has an inflated price on eBay. So I already have a copy of it, but it's like in mint condition, and it's also in a sleeve. So I wasn't sure if I was going to get around to reading it or not, but now that I picked up this copy for $5, I'm like, I guess I have a reading copy now. Which is kind of a shame because it's in such great condition. The only flaw is this little thing on the spine, but that's so negligible. But yeah, I have a reading copy now. So, I'll just go ahead and show you the cover and read the synopsis and the tagline. So, here's the cover. There's a ghost hand coming out of a TV. Okay, so that's kind of reminiscent of the movie The Ring. And the synopsis or the tagline on the front reads, "Same time, same deadly channel." And the synopsis on the back reads, "She's living a soap opera. Catherine Belmont watches her soap opera, Lost River, every day. She imagines she's beautiful Cassandra Bly, the star of the show, with her sexy boyfriend's gorgeous clothes and her own red convertible. Little by little, in strange, frightening ways, Catherine's life begins to echo Cassandra's. Catherine finds herself nervously rushing home to watch the show to find out what will happen next in her own life. But Cassandra's life isn't so wonderful anymore because someone wants her dead. Catherine is sure her own life is also in danger. Or is she losing her mind? So this sounds really good. This sounds like a great time. This sounds like a must read for 2026. It reminds me of this episode of Friends where Joey was still playing Dr. Drake Moriarty or something on Days of Our Lives. And then who was it? Was it Brooke Shields? Was like a crazy stalker fan, and she couldn't differentiate real life from the TV show. And so she stalks Joey, finds him, realizes that what was Joey's character's name? Dr. Drake Ramori. I think it was Dr. Drake Ramori. Okay. So Brooke Shields stalks him, starts dating him, and because she's hot, Joey dates her despite the fact that she's mentally ill. That was a great episode, and the synopsis just kind of reminds me of that, and I think that's why I want to read this one so bad now. All right, what else do I got in middle grade? All right, so it was only $4, so I went ahead and picked it up, and it's Christopher Pike's book, Alasha. Now, I remember being a teenager and in my early 20s, and I would see this on the bookshelves at like Hastings or Borders or Barnes and Noble. I was never interested because it's fantasy. But I always told myself that if I saw it at a thrift store and it was, just like $2 or $3, I'd pick it up. Well, I found it at Page One Books for $4, and so I'm like, it's in mint condition, near mint condition. I'll take it. It's Christopher Pike. I'll throw it on my Christopher Pike shelf. It's called Alasha, and you can see this teenage girl riding an ogre's back on the cover, and there's no tagline on the front. I will read you the synopsis on the back. Almost everyone at some time dreams of being the hidden king or queen of a far-off land. Almost everyone dreams that someday the secret identity will be revealed, heralding a new life filled with magic, power, and love. Teenager Allie Warner has good reason to believe in such a fantasy. While hiking in the woods behind her house, Allie stumbles across a plot by the Elementals, mysterious creatures who live in a neighboring dimension, to invade and destroy the Earth. Not only that, she discovers that she has been chosen to stop the attack. Why Allie? It is very possible that she is more than human. Eager to earn her magical abilities and learn her true identity, Allie sets out on a great adventure. The journey will take her far from home and through a series of dangerous tests that require not only courage and strength, but an insight into life itself. Accompanied by a devious leprechaun, a loyal troll, and 3 close friends, Allie strives to reach the top of a forbidden mountain and lay claim to the Yanti, an ancient talisman of great power that even the elementals cannot control. All right, so this does sound interesting. It's just not, and I bet you if I read it, I bet you I actually enjoy it, but it's just not something that I would choose to read. It's not something that I would choose to reach for. But like if I were in high school and my English teacher decided this is the book that we're reading as a class, I know that I'd be glad that we read it. Because that used to happen to me from time to time. Like for Christmas, I spent Christmas at my best friend's house with him and his family, and we watched a couple of Christmas movies, things that I would never watch on my own. One of it was One of the movies that we watched was the one where Kurt Russell played Santa Claus, and this like mischievous brother and sister almost ruined Christmas, but then they helped Santa Claus fix it. The Christmas Chronicles. Yeah, and then we also watched The Grinch with Jim Carrey. These are things that I would not choose to watch, okay, on my own, but because I'm at someone else's house and that's what they want to watch as a family, it gives me an excuse to try something new. This is one of those things where I'd really need an excuse to not read horror and read something like this. But this also clearly has the chosen one archetypes, and it actually says that plainly in the synopsis on the back. So Ali Warner is the chosen one. So this book is pretty much Avatar, James Cameron's movie Avatar. Like that dude in the wheelchair, he was the chosen one, and overcomes like all these things and passes all these tests and emerges as the hero at the end of the story. So I know that this is the same thing, just based on that synopsis. But and it's a good time. But I'd rather read The Watcher by Lyle Litke. Okay, and then in young adult, I have one more for you. I have Sweet Dreams by Kate Daniel. So Kate Daniel doesn't have that many books. She has this one, and then I think she has another one called Sweetheart. I have it, and I've shown it to you guys in a previous book haul from like a year to 3 years ago, something like that. Well, here's the cover. So you see a girl sleeping in a bed. The synopsis on the front reads, "Now I lay me down to die." All right, so here's the synopsis on the back. Jan's real life is scarier than her worst nightmare. Jan is terrified to go to sleep. Every night in her dreams, she relives the blaze that killed her parents. As her dreams grow more vivid, Jan begins to suspect that the fire wasn't an accident. Someone murdered her parents, and she thinks she knows who. Then Jan starts to walk in her sleep, finding herself mysteriously drawn to a series of midnight fires being set around town. At first, the fires are small, but soon one of Jan's classmates, a girl who accused Jan of setting the fires, is horribly disfigured in the flames that destroy her home. Is Jan's nightmare coming true? Is she an arsonist and a killer too? Ooh, that sounds like a horrifying psychological thriller. I'd like to read this, but I'd also like to read the other one that I have that I think might be called Sweetheart. And Kate Daniel doesn't have that many other books. I tried finding more on eBay just so I could build my Kate Daniel collection. And those are the only two that I found. And they go for pretty high prices. This is a Harper YA novel. All right. So that's it for young adult. Now I have three adult books. All right. So I think that this is for adults. Okay. So it's Ice Nine Kills the Silver Screen by Roy Merkin. And it says now a major motion picture. Not quite, but yeah, so great looking cover. It's got the film rolls for movie theaters with a bloody knife. If you don't know what this is, okay, so Ice Nine Kills is a metalcore band, and they, I think in like a number of years back, they put out an album called The Silver Scream, and every song on the album is about a horror movie. They have a song called I don't remember what it was called, okay, but it was about The Crow with Brandon Lee. Then they have a movie called The American Nightmare that's about Freddy Krueger. They have another song called Thank God It's Friday about Jason Voorhees and Friday the 13th. And I'm a fan of metal music. I'm also a fan of metalcore as a subgenre. Ice Nine Kills are really talented, great songwriters if you like that kind of music. And they have music videos for certain songs, but the music video and the song has a prequel where the lead singer starts going to therapy, and the therapist figures out that the lead singer Spencer is a serial killer, and this therapist decides that he wants to monitor Spencer and just see what he can learn about serial killers by failing to turn him into the police. And they've talked about wanting to make a movie about that. Well, I guess they made a book about it because I'm holding it in my hands. And this is just really, really cool. And I hope that I can find time in 2026 to read it. Oh, and one more thing about Ice Nine Kills. Okay, so, they also have a song on that album, The Silver Scream, called Your Number's Up, and it's about the first Scream movie. It's about the scene where Drew Barrymore's character, Casey Beckett, got killed by Ghostface. That's what the song's about, and it's one of my favorites on the album. What was the one called about the crow? Like, I can hear the song and the lyrics in my head. A Grave Mistake. It's called A Grave Mistake. Yeah. Anyway, so in Scream 6, in the opening scene where they have the first kill, the guy who was Ghostface in the opening scene of Scream 6 takes off his mask and they show us his face. And, the Scream franchise had never done that before, so that was wild to see. Then he goes home and he opens his fridge, and there's an Ice Nine Kills magnet on his fridge. So that was super, super cool to see. But yeah, I was really excited to pick this one up, and I found it at that Page One bookstore. All right, I got two more books for you. This is a leisure fiction by Brian Keene. And I know I have another Brian Keene book, but I cannot find it on that bookshelf where I keep all of my leisure horror books. Nevertheless, this one is called Darkness on the Edge of Town. And you just see a normal American neighborhood at night on the cover. And the synopsis on the back reads, one morning, the residents of Walden, Virginia, woke up to find that the rest of the world was gone, just gone. Surrounding their town was a wall of inky darkness, casting Walden into permanent night. Nothing can get in. No light, no people, not even electricity or radio or TV signals. And no one can get out. No one who dared to penetrate the mysterious barrier has ever been seen again. Only their screams were heard. But for some of the residents turned prisoners of Walden, even the fear of that unseen death can't keep them from trying to escape this living purgatory. That sounds good. It makes me wonder, what else do I have of this author, because I know I have something else. All right, and then this is my last book for this book haul. It's a Tor horror book, and the author is Charles L. Grant. Now, I have another book where it's a bunch of short stories either compiled by or written by Charles L. Grant, and there's a scary looking clown on the cover, and it's also a Tor horror book. And then I think this might be the same author that wrote a book called The Children, and it's like a scary, creepy child horror book. I found it at a thrift store years ago, opted not to buy it, and then the Bookubus just picked it up in a haul this month. So I think this might be that same author. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, this book is called The Last Call of Morning. And, there's a woman standing on that might be a porch, looking over the rail, and there's fog. There's a full moon that can be seen through the trees. There's a blurb by Stephen King on the front cover: jolting terror, scary, dreamlike, wonderful. Okay, good for you, Mr. Grant. And here's the synopsis on the back. For anyone who can afford to leave all the lights burning after the last page has been turned. Stephen King. Okay, he's got another blurb by Stephen King on the back. Okay, here's the synopsis. Yarrows do not die. People do. The family motto: Cynthia Yarrow laughs as she returns to Oxrun Station, her old hometown. The family is assembled to greet the prodigal, but they have changed in the years Sid's been away. Sid's mother cuts herself but does not bleed. One evening, a horrified Sid discovers her father's lifeless body, only to see him alive and laughing just minutes later. Everything is fine, they assure her. She'll understand as soon as she visits Dr. Kraylin. When Sid refuses, she is pursued through Oxrun Station's streets by a powerful gray limousine. As the death car bears down on her, she wonders, is she still a Yarrow, or is she their next target? That sounds interesting. Yeah. And it always feels good to add to my Tor horror book collection. Well, anyway, this was a fun haul. The video went on kind of long. I do want to wish everybody a happy new year. I honestly hope that 2026 is the best year you've had in a long time. And I look forward to talking to you guys next Sunday with Shadyside Library and Sunnyvale Reject, because we're going to do a stream together, and we're going to review and discuss the point horror novel Dream Date by Sinclair Smith. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. And I hope that if you're watching this, you'll be watching us on Sunday the 11th. And I think that we're probably going to stream from Shadyside Library's channel is my guess. And if not his channel, then Sunnyvale Rejects channel. So please subscribe to those guys if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching. Horns up, peace out, and Happy New Year.